This video is sponsored by Skillshare. And before we get into the new video comparison of the new Mini 2 versus the Mavic 2 Pro, the Mavic Mini 1, as well as the Air 2, a quick message from our sponsor Skillshare. And for those that don't know about Skillshare, Skillshare is an online learning community that really focuses around the creative arts. So if you're looking at getting into something like illustration, design, photography, videography, creative writing, or even animation, Skillshare has thousands of classes for you to choose from. Now, when I first saw the list of classes on Skillshare, definitely a lot of things to choose from. One of the first classes I took on Skillshare was Jevin Dovey's How to Vlog class. And as a designer, I was really intrigued on how Jeff Staple looked at branding. And for those that don't know, I'm also a UX UI designer, so I was looking at other softwares to use besides Sketch, so I started looking into Brian White's Figma class. Brian White gave me a good overview of Figma, and recently I've been taking a usability class with Marika McCloskey. Just want to expand the knowledge around UX and UI. Definitely a lot of facets to it. And thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium. So if you're looking at leveling up one of your creative skill sets, use that link down below in the video description. And now let's get into the video comparison. All right, so they're all laid out on the table. Today's comparison, more about video quality. Here's the Mini 2. I have the Mavic 2 Pro. I also have the original Mini 1 and the Mavic Air 2. Now the Mavic Mini 1 is the only one that shoots at 2.7. All the other ones now, including the Mini 2, shoot in 4K. So what I'm gonna be doing in this video is doing everything with standard profile, even though the higher end ones like the Air 2 and the 2 Pro have Cine-like on there, which is more of a flat profile. The Mini 1 and the Mini 2 do not have that. So I'm gonna be shooting all of these in standard profile mode. And it's also a pretty gusty day, as you can probably see on my shirt, and probably a little bit of wind noise on my microphone. It's a little bit of breeze today. I'm here at Fiesta Island, San Diego. Very popular place to not only fly, but just a beautiful place just to hang out. And like I mentioned, they're all gonna be in standard profile. I'm not gonna do anything post-processing wise. Everything you're gonna see is straight out of camera. I'm gonna shoot them all at 4K at 30 frames a second, of course, except for the Mini 1, which is gonna be 2.7 at 30 frames a second, upscaled to 4K. I know a lot of people wanna see this mainly because if they have a Mini 1, or Mini 1s might be on discount now, they wanna see, do I need the 4K? And you know, is this something that I'm gonna really need to update? OcuSync is, of course, is a very big deal on the Mini 2, and I think that's definitely something to consider. A lot of people still will shoot 2.7 or 4K and still edit on a 1080 timeline, so some people might not really care for the 4K. So in this video, what I want to do is put these all side by side. Of course, it is a pretty open day now. The clouds did pass, so I should have a pretty consistent flight back to back to back. And for the first part of the video, what I'll do is I'll just post up a few videos, see if you guys could tell which drone they're coming from. If you guys can't really tell, then honestly, it shouldn't really matter too much. But either way, just have a little fun. Let's see if you guys can tell which footage is coming from which drone. Then of course, I'll put those labels down below. All right, so a quick little overview of what we got here. We have the Mavic 2 Pro. We have the Mavic Air 2. Got the Mavic Mini, the original one. And then we have the Mini 2 right here.
Take off. Low point has been updated. Please check it on the map.
All right, here we go. Watch this thing move. Woo! Woo! It's gusty. It is gusty. Look at this thing. Look how much is moving. Look how much is moving. This is the Mini 2 now. So this is a level 5, so it should be able to handle the wind a lot better than the Mini 1. So let's see. Mavic Mini 2 remote control with the Mavic Air 2. So I didn't even take it off when I was flying the Mini, just resynced it back up with the Air 2. So one thing you want to note is that when you are doing a hand takeoff or hand landing, is that you want to know where the wind is blowing. So you want the wind to go away from you. If the wind's going towards you and a gust of wind comes up, it's going to smack you right in the face. So the wind is going that way right now. As you can see from my shirt, it's being pulled that way. So this is the perfect direction for me to launch. The Mini 2 and the Mini 1, you can definitely feel the gust of wind taking it and moving it just a little bit. But the Air 2 and of course Mavic 2 Pro can handle that wind a little bit better. Bigger craft, you gotta step back. The one thing that's really good about the Mavic 2 Pro, I can definitely say that, is actually the size of it is really good for the sake of just being able to see it up in the air. I feel like you can just see more detail for some reason. And that reason is probably because of the sensor. There it is, Mavic 2 Pro, solid as always. One of the drones, I think, quality-wise, stability-wise, flight characteristics, everything is so good on the 2 Pro. And it's already a couple years old. And there it is, guys. It's super windy, and I think that was a good test for me just to see exactly how well they could do. As you saw, the Mini 1 had a lot more of the strong wind warnings, and today was the first day I actually got a strong wind warning on the Mini 2, but definitely not as much as the Mini 1. Right when I took off with the Mini 1, I was getting that strong wind warning right away. I didn't get the Mini 2 warning until I was coming back around when it was really gusty. So overall, I definitely did see that it was handling the wind a lot better. But of course, if you are in a place where you're gonna be dealing with a lot more wind, you're gonna wanna get something like the Air 2 or the Mavic 2 Pro, just stability wise, it just holds so well in the air, of course, because of the weight, the motors, how strong they are. And of course, if you want something at the highest end, you're gonna want that 1-inch sensor on the Mavic 2 Pro. Let me know what you guys think about the video quality down below in the comment section. Can you tell which one's which? Can you see a big benefit from one over the other? Of course, the Mavic 2 Pro, when you start seeing that against side of the Mini, you could probably see a little bit more difference, but is that something that you're gonna need to deal with? Is it something that you have to worry about? Or do you need something that has a little bit more options like the Mavic Air 2 as well as the Mavic 2 Pro? Overall, super impressed with all of them. Of course, I'm pretty solid of what's expected from the other ones, but Mini 2, the Mini 1 handled just as fine. It is a super windy, gusty day, as you can probably see and hear. And that's all I got for today, guys. Make sure you guys check out my full Mavic Mini playlist. I have a bunch of videos on there if you want a lot more information on the Mini 1, the Mini 2, as well as check out my other playlists on the Air 2 as well as Mavic 2 Pro. As always, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. This is all just Austin with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.